Greetings all, Frog here. Let's play Factorio. It's happened! Ta-da! If you're watching on the live stream right now, you just saw me raise my hands in joy and graciousness. And if you're watching on the other video, you didn't. But it's here! Factorio 0.15 released a day early. So I was going to play Democracy in this slot. Haha! That's not happening now. It's going to be Factorio 0.15, the base game, just to see what are the changes. And boy, are there some changes. I'm very excited about this. I can't express how excited I am about this game coming out. I'm hoping that the new things we've been watching are as good as promised. Now, point of order, this is a beta. Technically an alpha, the whole game is, but this is a beta version of the alpha, so it could be bad. It might be crashing. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. But the first thing is first, let's talk about this changelog, huh? Wow, that's really small. I can't make it any bigger. Well, we'll just deal with it. Okay, where does it stop? That's still not 0.15. It's still not 0.15. Not 0.15. Not 0.15. Not 0.15. That's the only thing in here is not 0.15. Oh, we got a lot to talk about. I'm so excited about this. You'll notice we're already on not 0.15.1. They've already released something that reduced the noise effect on zoom to world view. What's zoom to world view, you ask? We'll show you later. They've actually already fixed 5 different bugs. Alpha, beta, nerds. It's true. But if you remember from the movie Nerds, we make the best lovers. I have a live stream chat, so I'm going to be talking back and forth to the people in the chat, but you'll be fine. Everything will be just fine. So there were a couple of things. There's apparently a config load error. They have to reset the config because almost everything changes. None of the mods are working yet. Well, they might be by this point because it was released at like 2 in the afternoon and it's 8:30. So some of the mods are probably working, but I don't even care. We're just going to do the base. We fixed the update error. There was apparently an update error. They fixed a config load error. There was a headless server error, which maybe someday I'll run one when I get a better server going. They fixed the reset button in the generate GUI map wouldn't actually reset. It's kind of a problem. And they fixed the right-clicking icon on the tag edit GUI, crashing the game. All right, so see what I'm saying? There are bugs in here. Things could happen. It's been tested, but this is what I have to say. Okay, so version 15, what happened? In the configuration has been reset because there are too many different changes. I'll go through the configuration options, so if you haven't seen it yet, you'll see what we're talking about. Excuse me, I've got lemon lime flavored soda for you today. Well, for me, none for you, sorry. So, major features. These are the big, huge things, and these are big, huge things. 1, research has been completely overhauled. There are 4 new science pack types. There's a military pack, production packs, high-tech packs, and space packs. The space packs can only, it says right there, can only be generated by launching a rocket. So you have to have a rocket in order to do that. And then they've added researches that go forever. They are infinite. Things like, I know for sure the minor efficiency, perhaps. I don't know if it's the same thing in this case. It is in the modules. But it gets better by 2% every time you do a research level, and it goes forever. And there's all these different reasons that you want to keep doing it. I don't know what the recipes are for yet. I haven't looked in the game, but apparently blue science is much easier now because then there's all these other sciences. There's nuclear power. That's my mind being blown. They actually added the entire nuclear power chain to this whole thing. So you're going to be mining uranium. You're not going to get the right kind of uranium all the time. You're going to be able to use uranium as weapons products, which is good and bad depending on your point of view. There's going to be turbines, the engines and all that stuff. There's special steam engines to handle this because obviously the steam coming out of uranium is a lot hotter than the steam coming out of a traditional boiler. So all of that is happening. So excited about that. And then, holy moly, there's a blueprint library. And, okay, so you could say, well, there was always a blueprint book. No, this is way better. You can keep them between games. What? You can keep them between games. It's so excellent. And then you can share them in multiplayer games. Mook, we're going to have so much fun with this. Okay, so let's talk about the features. They've improved the map. And when they say they've improved the map, they've changed the map. It's unbelievable. So now you can actually have overlays on your map. So you can have a logistic network overlay, the pollution overlay, the electric network overlay, turret ranges, all of this different stuff that you could select on the map. This is the map, not the big screen, not what you play on, but the map. So when you hit M to bring up the map. Train stations and trains can be opened by clicking on them in the map view now. So you don't have to click the separate map button. You just get to a train. If you see a train zipping by, you click on it, you open the train. Unbelievable. You can zoom into the world from the map. I don't even know how they came up with that. And the cool thing is, if there's fog of war, you can't see it either. There has to be radar coverage for you to see details. Otherwise, you'll see what the radar or you have last seen. Or if in a multiplayer game, if there's another player there, you can see that as well. You can add custom markers to the map. They can say whatever you want. I don't know. I don't need them because I basically use my train engines as markers, but same thing. There is now an official wagon for transporting fluids, so we no longer need the rail tanker mod. So the pumps can pump to the fluid wagons, and then the other side has to be connected to something else. This is normal. This is not unusual, except that it kind of seems to imply that you need the special pump for that, and you cannot just hook them straight into like a water pump. Not that many people were doing that, but it was possible with the rail tanker to do that. So infinite mining productivity research has been added. They mentioned that earlier, but this specifically mentions mining, so you can do 2%. I already said that. The fuel type now affects vehicle acceleration and top speed. What? That's hilariously awesome, because obviously now if you end up with a nuclear powered train, which I'm hoping you could do, don't know, don't quote me on that one, I'm just guessing, it'll be fast as hell. But what it definitely means is that your solid fuel will be faster than your wood burner. Way faster. They added coal liquefaction. So this was the liquefaction, which was added in, I think Bob's added this. I think also Petrochem added this one, that you could take coal and make it right into heavy oil. Now it's in the base game. Makes sense. This is interesting. I don't know how I feel about this one. They've added a pipette tool. So it picks up items from the inventory used to build the currently selected entity. For resources, it will select the fastest available resource extractor. I don't understand it yet. We're going to play around with it. They added new tutorials, and now there's a PvP and a wave defense scenario. Graphics, which we're going to notice, hopefully on the stream, although I only stream at 720p. You'll notice it for sure on the video, I hope, because I do stream at 1080p. It's now high def. So it's full 1080p for cars, trains, rails, rail signals, train stops, transport belts, underground belts, splitters, pipes, steam engines, assembling machines, oil refineries, chemical plants, mining drills, furnaces, and resources. They did not have time before release to get the inserters, but they will add inserters as well. And pretty much everything will have a high-res graphic version eventually. The new ores have less tiley ore patches. Don't know what that means yet. We'll see what it is. They've tweaked the GUI graphics, which have been amazingly done. It's still, as you can tell, the typical block kind of presentation, but there's a lot more to it that you can do. And then it decreased the size of the recipe icons on assembling machines by 23%. Don't know why. Well, it didn't bother me, but obviously it bothered people. Those are features. Okay, now we have the minor features. All right, this should be at the top of the list. This is not a minor feature. This is the most amazing user experience update they have added to it, that you can now insert to and from entities and copy and paste entities by dragging the mouse. You no longer have to individually click one by one. And if you work in factories like I do, where it's go big or go home, and say in the last episode, actually, or a couple of episodes ago of the Factorio Barbarissimo series, when I set up a 50 entity configuration, I could have just dragged the whole thing instead of had to click each one individually. It's huge. It's huge. The second one I don't think I like. Build by moving for electric poles now accounts for covering all unpowered entities on the way. I don't think I like that one, but since most of the time I use build for that, it's because I'm running long power poles along a rail line. It probably won't even annoy me until I'm in the base and realize what the hell's going on. Fast replacing a piece of the underground belt replaces the other side. Well, that's amazing. I think that's fantastic. You can set your own player color, which is cool. Added warning for situations where robots don't have storage places to put them in a logistics network. Also cool. I'm out of storage space. I want to know about that, so I don't just have robots sitting around doing nothing. Pumps show the direction in the detailed view, which is, honestly, the graphic was good enough. You didn't really need it, but that's fine. Belts and pipes show correct connections when building a blueprint. That's kind of cool, because when you built a blueprint, it was just a basic vertical view, I think, always, of the belt or whatever it was, and it didn't connect if you moved them. So that's kind of cool that they increased that. Technology is still the required science pack below the icon in the technology GUI list. That's cool. It's better because they are now sorted by science pack needed. So as you can remember, in all the series I've done, I'm looking through, what do I have that still has this? What do I have that still has it? Now I know, because it'll be at the beginning. They added a screenshot command, which is cool. Almost every modern operating system can take a screenshot without having to do that, but that's kind of cool. Added support for equipment grids in the map editor. I have no idea what that means. We'll find out. The build rotation for each blueprint is remembered independently of the general item build rotation, which is good because that was always frustrating to me that it could not remember how I had rotated things, so I'd get them out and they'd be always in different directions. Very strange. Excuse me. You can have infinite resources now of everything, And the minimal yield for that is calculated using the initial resource amount and the prototype minimum yield. So this is all, they're guessing to see how to balance infinite yields at the moment. I don't know if you turn them on somewhere else, because it occurs to me they were not in the options menu when I went through it. So it's probably when you build a new map. Added optional filters to the deconstruction planner. I love that idea. The copying from assembly means to filter inserters will set the filters to the ingredients of the assembling machine recipe. It's about time. I mean, they did it for requester chests. Why not for filter inserters? Combat robots and construction robots are maintained between sessions in multiplayer and when changing surfaces. Very cool. Why does this matter? Factorissimos. Added reverse rotate. Thank you. Thank you. You no longer have to hit R. You can just go Shift R and it goes the other way. It's fantastic. Offshore pump and generators show pumping speed and fluid usage, which is great because now I can actually see if I need all those offshore pumps, like I think I do. Alternate selecting with blueprints. Shift select skips the blueprint setup GUI. That I think is also cool. Mining rails is disabled if mining starts with trains or gates. That's cool. Mining meaning picking them up. So you're not going to deconstruct rails if you're just trying to pick up the gates or something on the rail. Fantastic. Full screen alt enter. That's just getting into the 19th century. You can force options to the player's command. I don't even remember what players does. Add a logistics network GUI containing a list of all networks and content with search. This is the advanced logistics mod, so now it's built into the game. Added an open command. These slash commands are all in the Lua thing. So they've added an open command to open an inventory. If you're the admin, you can configure alerts for the player. You can disable global sounds, apparently. You can print the map seed. Fantastic. I will probably do that right at the beginning of this video when I create the map. Or the next map, I mean. Oh, excuse me. Add fluids to the production GUI. Okay, I'm sort of okay with that. Added kill statistics GUI. I don't know why. Added enable disable all mods button to the mod manager GUI. That's kind of cool. Added automatic barreling support for all fluids. Which is good, because that means then modders don't have to create barrel recipes for all their different fluids. It's just going to be created automatically in the game. I like that. Where are we? I just lost myself. Here we are. Cargo wagons can have settings copied from any distance, like locomotives. Makes sense. Added the ability to auto-launch the rocket. This is important if you're going to be creating science from it. Train stops can be colored like trains. What? It's way more exciting to me than it should have been. Fish can be collected by robots. Yes! Our fishing enterprise will know no bounds. Stejo, I hope you have already taken advantage of this. Extended map generator settings to include an advanced section. Added map generator presets, which is very cool. Show a fog of war and radar radius when holding radar and cursor, which is a brilliant idea. Seed for map creation on the headless server. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Damaged items merge into one stack. The health of the stack will be the average of the items. This is good and bad both. Because obviously if they merge, then that means you need to make a new one. Whereas before you'd only have to spend a repair pack. So we had to be careful about this one. Added server whitelist support, fine. Added ban list, added favorite feature in public games, that's fine. Added permissions command, sure. Added ability to change individual inserter stack size bonuses through the GUI or the circuit network. Interesting. Added ability to export and import blueprints, blueprint books, and construction planners as strings. Server console will point, join, and leave messages, sure. Server console, blah, blah, blah. Translatable energy units and SI prefixes. Okay. Furnaces and assembling machines show the amount of products finished. Oh, that's kind of cool. And then they balanced a bunch of stuff. Some of this stuff I like. Some of the stuff I'm not going to like. So they've increased the rate at which resources grow with distance from the center by 50%. That is probably more helpful for the most number of people. It means you don't need as many trains, which makes me sad. But I'm okay with that. Unless it means the opposite, which means the research. No, it's the rate at which it's definitely not. Well, if it is, it's bad English. Crude oil balancing. Halved the resources amounts on the map. So increase the minimum yield from 10 to 20%. Halved the rate of depletion. Doubled the starting yield. Fixed that the mechanics of increasing richness with distance from start wasn't working. While that would explain why it was so tough to find oil in the base game. A lot of this stuff, like this first two, didn't matter if you were running RSO. So I don't know if this is maybe RSO fixes that will make it better. We'll see. Increase the module inventory size of a chemical plant and oil refinery from 2 to 3. That's just basic logic. Increase logistic slot, trash slot count from 5 per level to 6 per level. Are they going to be 6 wide then? Or are they going to look... Either way, it's going to be awkward. Removed processing unit from the modular armor and portable solar panel recipe. Oh, that's nice. Increase the pumping speed 4 times, which was... Now, see? Look, I wasn't crazy. Those pumps were slow. So now it's better. Reduce the plastic bar requirement of petroleum gas from 30 to 20. Reduce the electric engine recipe of lubricant from 20 to 15. Reduce the electric furnace recipe requirement for steel from 50 to 10. Steel furnace recipe requirement of steel from 8 to 6. Reduce the pump check recipe of steel from 10 to 5. Reduce the crafting time of all of that stuff. An ad for poop yogurt was played at the beginning of this video. That's horrible. All right. Reduce the crafting time of all this stuff. Engine units and electric engine units. Thank God, because that was way too high. Pump checks. Who cares? Advanced circuits. Holy smokes. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Now I only need 6 per setup instead of 8. Wow. Processing units from 15 to 10. That's also huge. And cracking recipes from 5 to 3, which if you balance your oil right, you don't necessarily need to worry about. Increase the stack size of stone wall and pipes and belts from 50 to 100. I had a mod that did that all the time anyway. That's so much better. Increase the maximum power production of steam engines from 510 kilowatts to 900 kilowatts. So essentially they're like steam engine 3s in Bob's mods. Double the heat capacity of water from 0.1 kilojoule per degree per liter to 2.2 kilojoules. Is that real? Or did they just do it to make it easier? I don't know. Increase substation supply area to 18 by 18 and wire reach to 18. Oh, that's going to be so odd to remember. Player regains health at a much higher rate, but only after being out of combat for 10 seconds. Discharge defense equipment pushes back, stuns, and damages nearby enemies when activated by the remote. That's not bad. Decrease the size of discharge event from 3 by 3 to 2 by 2. Greatly increase the damage of personal laser defense equipment. Flamethrower gun has a minimum range of 3, and it occurs to me I forgot to check what time this started, so I am not certain how long this video has been. Flames created on ground from the flamethrower specifically increase damage and duration, and damage when more fuel is added to them by firing at the same spot. Ah. Good. Increase the fire resistance of biter bases. Well, okay. Increase the health of player non-combat buildings. Increase player health from 100 to 250. Increase collect amount and effectiveness of fish, which you can now farm by robots. Increase the damage range and health of biter worms. I don't like that. Decreased health and resistance of behemoth biters. Double the stack size of all ammo. Tweak the cost of crafting time of some ammos. Increased the damage of most player ammos. Greatly increase the damage and fire rate of rockets and cannon shells. Well, maybe we'll play with rockets then. Increase the collision box of cannon shells. Increase tag health and resistance. Added research for tank cannon shells damage and shooting speed. Tweaked research bonuses and added more endgame research for military upgrades. Greatly increased the damage of mines. They also stun nearby enemies when they explode. Added uranium round magazines and uranium cannon shells. Added the flamethrower to the tank. What? Other minor changes. Optimizations. Other minor changes. Reduce the speed at which you can fire turrets. Probably, I don't know. Improved performance of mining drills in general and significant improvements in performance when mining drills get backed up. Improved performance when tiles are changed due to migration mod removal. Significantly improved GUI performance for inventories that required scroll bars. Improved GUI performance in general. Improved performance of radar scanning chunks. Improved map generation speed and edit generation algorithm. Improved game load performance when a large amount of mod data exists in the save. Optimized graph rendering and production statistics window. Improved regenerate entity performance. Improved network map transfer performance. Improved train performance when building mining rail related entities. Optimize the memory requirements for storing tiles under concrete. Oh, I get that. Circuit network. Significantly improved circuit network performance. Up to 25 times less CPU usage and 10% less memory usage. That is insane. Added a programmable speaker to show alerts and play sounds based on circuit network signals. That will probably scare the hell out of me when I first set that up and forget about it. Train stops can output the contents of a stop train's cargo. Of course it can! Why wouldn't it have in the future? Or in the past? That was so stupid. But now it does, so it's fantastic. Train stops can be disabled using the circuit network. They will skip all train stops. So that's kind of cool. Mining drills can be turned on and off using the circuit network. Interesting. And they output the remaining expected resources, huh? Pump jacks can be turned on and off using the circuit network. Added modulo power, left bit shift, right bit shift, bitwise and bitwise or and bitwise XOR to the arithmetic combinator. Holy shit. Added greater or equal than, less than or equal than, or not equal to the decider combinator and circuit conditions. That is hot. Now we get to the changes. Oh my god, we're halfway through. Okay, so boilers are more powerful and bigger and have a dedicated output for steam. Default boilers output steam at a fixed temperature of 165 degrees. Now, so they're 2x3 instead of 1x1. I don't know how this is going to... I think it's 1 to 2 is what they said is the new ratio. One boiler to 2 steam engines. Mook is watching right now on the live stream. He'll probably correct me if I get that incorrect. But I believe that's how it works now, and I'm excited for that. I assume that you can chain them. I hope. They removed 32-bit systems. It's fine. Almost everybody plays on 64 bits anyway. I removed Alien Artifact and Alien Science Packs from the game completely. So why do I want biters at all? Interesting. Change the bounding box of burner miner drills and pump jacks so it's possible walking between them. Oh, thank you, God. Just the burning miner drills and pump jacks? Could you have done it for everything, please? Disable loading of saves before, not 12. That's because they're way too different. Change the small pump to pump. They'll be migrated but will be misaligned. Well, thank you for that UI experience. 1 to 2 is the current ratio. Train stations add 2,000 tile penalty when pathfinding, so trains try to avoid stations not related to their path. Oh, nice. The map seed is used to generate unique maps instead of just a starting position. The decorative entity type has been deprecated and replaced with the prototype optimized decorative. Oh, I get it. So they add different things to the maps itself. Multiplied all fluid amounts by 10. All default map editor actions are now on the left click. Okay, I don't use the map editor, that's fine. Change the fluid box height and base level of a boiler, steam engine, and pump to improve fluid flow. When the active train stop is removed, trains will immediately leave the station if they're waiting at the station. Huh. Changed the default comparison type for train conditions to OR, which is good considering most people used OR. Fast replacing splitters maintains the splitter contents of the new splitter instead of returning it to the player. Oh, thank you, God. Research started change notifications are only shown when in multiplayer. Crafting is now paused when the results can't be given to the player instead of spilling them on the ground. Excellent. Very good. Hey, you know this thing that it's going to be lost forever because you can't hold it? I'm just going to drop it on the ground? Yeah, there you go. They fixed that. Changed evolution from global to perforce. Oh. Interesting. I wonder what that's going to do overall. Disabled mining of vehicles other players are driving. Oh. I guess I'm not going to steal your tanks, Mook. Decrease, not that we've gotten to that point really anyway. Decrease spider sound volumes. Laser turret projectiles move much faster. Robot construction area changed from 50 to 51 to allow Roboport builds deconstruct each other even when there's a one-tile gap between logistics areas. Oh. Restart button now uses the map generation settings from the currently loaded save. New rocket silo GUI and invisibility button for free play and sandbox scenarios. On unified internal name of the flamethrower to flamethrower. No hyphen. Manual ghost building will mark trees, rocks, or deconstruction similar to alt building blueprints. Fantastic. Trains are now always visible on the map, not only in chunks observed by raiders or players. I don't know how I feel about that, actually. But okay. Renamed Armor Making 2 to Heavy Armor and Armor Making 3 to Power Armor. Renamed Diesel Locomotive to Locomotive because the diesel part obviously didn't matter. Increased blueprint book size to hold 1,000 blueprints. Blueprint books on deconstruction planners are obtainable from the library GUI with no crafting cost. Oh, cool. Added combinator working wire hole and wire place sounds. A single player can be continued when you die. Oh, good. Modding fast cropping of sprite. Actually, this happened in the game now. I've read that when you die in multiplayer, your body stays around. There's all this stuff for modding and scripting and stuff, but I'm not going to go through all that. This has definitely been a 20-minute video because I'm 27 minutes into the live stream. So I am going to cut it here. This was the changelog. This is what we're going to be playing with. We will be playing in the next video. I promise you that. If you're watching the live stream, remember, stick around. The final outro will only happen when you hear my outro music. Until that point, this is just for the different videos. But I am going to say that we're done here, and we will pick this up in the next video on Thursday with a brand new Factorio, not 0.15.1. I'm excited to share it with you. For now, though, we're out of time. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, click the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel to stay updated to everything that happens. And until next time, cheers.